Welcome to bLU.
So a number of years ago, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. And I brought her to the doctor's office for her appointment, and she went into her appointment, and when she came back out, she grabbed a piece of paper out of her purse and she opened it up. And it looked like, from where I was sitting in the car, that it was a prescription. So she got in the car and I said, "Oh, do I need to take you to the drugstore?" Because I figured it was a prescription that he wrote for her to take. And she showed it to me, and she was still kind of in shock. And what it said was, "Don't watch or read the news." That was his total prescription. And so both of us were kind of shocked by that being the only prescription he gave her, but we both decided to take up his challenge, and we both stopped watching and reading the news. So we kind of went on what I'll call a news detox. And so about 9 months later, she went back for her appointment, and she asked him right away, what was this "don't watch or read the news"? And what he shared with her is he noticed that the patients that didn't watch or read, especially the beginning of the news or the front of the newspaper, those were the people that had the best chance of defeating and conquering cancer. So this is something to think about. What he discovered is the negative energy and the toxic energy that comes with what that does to your mindset changes your odds of battling an illness. Now, again, I'm no doctor, I'm just sharing what this doctor shared with her, but I want you to think about that, and I want you to think about how much you watch and read the news, and do you feel it actually has a negative effect on your energy? Now, when I bring this up to people at events and talks, they'll tell me, well, I need to watch and read the news to be informed. And my argument to that would be, well, if you're on social media, you're probably being informed anyway, whether you want to or not. So you probably don't need to watch or read the general news. Now, having said that, I will say if you have to watch and read the news, then what I always tell people is do this. Grab the newspaper and take off the front and start at page 2. Because generally speaking, the negative news is on the front cover. So again, if you have to do it, start inside the paper. If you have to listen to or watch the news, if you feel you truly have to, then don't start at the beginning, because that seems to be where the negative news is buried. Unfortunately, that's because we're conditioned that when we see that negative news, it pulls us in because we want to know more about it. And so what my challenge for you today is I would love to, and I want to see people take on a news detox. Maybe it's just for 30 days. Just try 30 days, if you're a person that watches and reads the news, to take 30 days to shut it off and just move away from it, and then see how you feel afterward. So there's this thing called E plus R equals O. And E plus R equals O stands for event plus response equals outcome. And what it really says is that every day you're getting hit by events. You can't change or control the events. But what you can change or control is how you respond to the events, and that'll dictate your outcome. So what I'm suggesting is that when you go on a news detox, you won't be hit with as many negative events perhaps, especially external ones, but you're still going to come across negative events. Like, for example, somebody cuts you off in traffic and then gives you the middle finger. You may tend to carry that energy with you. Well, what I'm suggesting is, beyond practicing a news detox, I'd love to see you practice this E plus R equals O, which essentially says that the event happens, and then I want you to pause for a minute before you respond. Most people, what they do is they react. They don't even pause, they just react. So I want you to pause before you respond. And then I want you to see what kind of outcomes you have, and to see if you can actually adjust your outcomes based on how you respond to things going forward. So those are the two things I want to share today. One is the power of going on a news detox when you consider what it did for my mother, who was battling cancer, who, by the way, now has been cancer-free for a number of years. I also would love to see you use this equation in your life. When things happen to you, when you get hit by an event, I'd love to see you decide your response before you respond, so that you can choose what kind of outcome you want to have. Until that time, I'm Corey Poirier. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day, everybody.